Alright, so at this point, I have heard all the Oscar buzz you possibly could hear about this. All the praises have been sung for this film. A lot of my fellow critics right here on YouTube have called this a modern classic. And after watching this, I would have to say that, yes it is. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another brand new movie review, and as always, I thank you all so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy your stay. But this time around, we're taking a look at Judas and the Black Messiah. Finally, yeah, loads of you have gotten to see this at the Sundance Festival, and I'm so jealous. That's really freaking awesome, because I, on the other hand, have been antsy to see this thing for weeks, and I was finally able to check it out. This one was written and directed by Shaka, with the one and only Ryan Coogler also attached as a producer, and it stars Daniel Kaluuya and LaKeith Stanfield, two of the stars of one of my favorite films of the last decade, reunited. And Stanfield plays FBI informant Bill O'Neill, who infiltrates the Illinois Black Panther Party, and he's tasked with keeping tabs on their charismatic leader, Chairman Fred Hampton, played by Daniel Kaluuya. O'Neill, who's a career thief, revels in the danger of manipulating both his comrades as well as his handler, Special Agent Roy Mitchell, played by Jesse Plemons. And Hampton's political prowess grows just as he's falling in love with fellow revolutionary Deborah Johnson, played by Dominique Fishback. Meanwhile, a battle wages on for O'Neill's soul. So I'm just gonna cut right to the chase, guys. Judas and the Black Messiah is freaking fantastic. And I think this is an extremely important film for all of us to see, especially with what's going on right now. Especially in regards with some of the corruptness of our justice system and some of the racial injustices. I mean, it's absolutely haunting that this film is based on a true story that's set in the late 60s, early 70s. And it is scary and absolutely maddening, really, to think about the prospects that some of the despicable events that occurred, especially towards the finale of this film, they could very easily be paralleled to some of the despicable events that have occurred over the last year or so. And I won't spoil what happens, just in case, don't worry, but my blood was boiling by the time this finale came on, especially once a certain event happens, which is just... I think that's what makes this film as effective as it was. It got under my skin. And I think what Shaka was able to accomplish with this film is absolutely breathtaking. Now, Daniel Kaluuya as Fred Hampton towards the beginning of this film makes a statement kind of along these lines. Now, I could be botching this quote for all I know, but it went something like this. War is politics with bloodshed. Politics is war without bloodshed. God damn these politics. But in my eyes, and this could just be my interpretation of all this, but I feel like in addition to this being a historical drama, Shaka has also made a war film. Now granted, it's not the traditional battlefield type epic that we're all thinking of with films like Saving Private Ryan or Glory and so forth. No, this is a war film with the backdrop of urban Chicago in the late 60s. And I, for one, was riveted from the opening frame. I think Shaka does an outstanding job bringing this story and its brilliant production design to life, not only with a really effective screenplay, but also with a sure hand behind the camera. The editing is very subtle and it's very simple. You hardly ever notice it. And I really appreciated all the long takes that King was able to bring to the table, because these long takes are what I think really helps these mesmerizing performances shine through even more. Speaking of the performance, this movie is filled to the brim with riveting characters as well as some exceptional storytelling with devastatingly real portrayals, especially from the electrifying Daniel Kaluuya, who I feel is the best he's been since his performance in Get Out. It's a very emotionally charismatic performance, unlike the quiet, subtle approach to how he played Chris. When he gives his eloquent speeches, you listen, and his words and his delivery just shoots goosebumps up and down your spine. And you can definitely tell that he's speaking from the heart in a lot of this. Now, I've heard some rumors that a lot of his dialogue might have been improvised. Don't quote me on this, because I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but honestly... It wouldn't surprise me in the least if that was the case. Kaluuya absolutely deserved his nomination that he recently got from the Hollywood Foreign Press, and honestly, it will not surprise me in the least once the Academy does the same. He was fantastic. But not to be overlooked is the equally great LaKeith Stanfield, who I believe gives the best performance of his entire career up to this point. Guys, he is so damn good in this movie. Like, unbelievable. He doesn't even need to have a whole lot of dialogue per se. You can just tell how he's feeling at any given moment in the movie just from the look in his eyes. Because there's a lot of subtext and a lot of thoughts spinning around in this guy's brain. And I think Stanfield with this performance has really stamped himself as one of the best performers of our generation. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this whole cast, guys, absolutely stellar. Martin Sheen is unrecognizably disgusting as J. Edgar Hoover. I had to do a double take to remind myself that this was Martin Sheen in front of me. My dude Lil Rel Howery has a very brief little appearance in here, but he's an incredibly fun presence to kind of offset the intensity this film carries with it. Jesse Plemons from Breaking Bad has some deep character work to sink his teeth into also. God, the look in his eyes is always so despicable, isn't it? And last but not least, I gotta talk about Dominique Fishback because man, she was absolutely amazing. Her range as an actress is further explored with this movie, and she kills it. Her relationship and chemistry with Daniel Kaluuya is so sweet and touching. I loved her in Project Power. She was a bright, shining spot of that flick, and she holds her own here once again. She was awesome. I cannot wait to see her get more work like this. I mean, Judas and the Black Messiah was excellent, guys. It really gets under your skin. I really cannot praise the effectiveness of this movie enough, especially for the times we're living in right now. But I do have two small nitpicks that I would like to talk about with this film, and it's really getting into the small, minute technical details here. Now, firstly, the film is non-linear, and it does show briefly an interview with Stanfield's character, and it intersplices those clips into the story. And the film does have a tendency to switch aspect ratios whenever it cuts to said interview. I honestly found these transitions a little bit jarring, especially once you consider the fact that about 95% of this movie is shot in that Ultra HD widescreen format like we're all used to. Now, I think if those little kinks were cleaned up a little bit, that was smoothed over, I think it would have helped the movie out tremendously. And I also think the movie could have been a little bit longer. Now, granted, it does hit the major beats of this overall story, and it does so extremely effectively. I think there are certain characters whose motivations tend to be glossed over a little bit. I think if you add like 15 more minutes to the final product, you could dig a little bit deeper with them. And I wanted to learn more. I was intrigued. And I feel like that right there is where the magic of this movie comes in. It leaves me intrigued. It leaves me wanting to learn more. I definitely want to watch this movie again. It's riveting, historically significant, a spectacular outing for director Shaka King and this entire cast. I'm gonna give Judas and the Black Messiah an A. I don't know about you, but I think we have a new shoe-in to take home a bunch of Oscars. Guys, I highly recommend you guys check this one out this weekend. Whether it's in theaters or HBO Max, I definitely think this is a movie that deserves your full, undivided attention. Because God help me, it deserves it right now. But this is just one guy's opinion. What did you guys think? Do you guys agree with me about Judas and the Black Messiah? Do you not? What is your guys' favorite historical drama? I'm curious to discuss all of these topics and then some all down there in the comments with you guys. Let's discuss movies and all things entertainment further. If this sounds like something you're interested in, if these videos feel like something you're interested, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can, because it is free. It really would help out the channel immensely, and you beautiful subscribers will also be the first ones to know anytime a new upload hits my channel. If you guys liked this video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up on your way out also. I'd really appreciate that. And as per, folks, look out for more exciting content hitting this channel very, very soon. You guys are awesome. With all that being said, back talk, commence!